Hello viewers, we'll be looking at the question on the board. We are asked to divide 13,233 in base 4 by 23 in base 4. I want to apply the second formula whereby we divide it directly in base 4. However, before we can do the division without making mistake, there is a need for us to understand multiplication of 23 in base 4. Let's recall that the digit we can use in base 4 are between 0 and 3. That is 0, 1, 2, and 3. So the multiplication I'm talking about here will end at 3. So we will have 23 times 0, 23 times 1, 23 times 2, 23 times 3. So we end at 3 because numbers in base 4 end at 3. Now, let's see the answers. 23 times 0 is 0. 23 times 1 remains 23. Now, getting here, 2 times 3 is 6. We cannot write down 6 in base 4. So we divide the 6 by the base. And 6 divided by 4 will give us 1 remainder 2. So we write down the remainder, which is 2. But we will not bring this one with it because 2 is still going to multiply something here. Now, 2 times 2 will give us 4. The 4 plus the 5, 4 plus the 1 that is here is 5. We now divide the 5 by 4 because we can't have 5 in base 4. Now, 5 divided by 4 will give us 1 remainder 1. We write down the remainder 1. Nothing here to multiply again. So this other one comes over here. That means 23 times 2 in base 4 is 112. Now let's see this. 3 times 3 is 9. So 9 will be divided by 4. And that will give us 2 remainder 1. So we write down the remainder 1. Then 3 times 2 is 6. Then 6 plus this 2 that is here will give us 8. That means we have 8 divided by 4. And that will give you 2 remainder 0. We write down the remainder, which is 0. There is no other number for 2 for this 3 to multiply. So we bring this 2 and attach it here. That means 23 times 3 in base 4 is 201. Now that we understand base 4 multiplication using 23, we can go ahead and do our division. Now let's divide. 23 in base 4 is dividing 13,233 in base 4. Now, 23 cannot divide 1 because 1 is less than 23. We attach it. We join the next digit, which is 3. 23 cannot divide 13 because 13 is also less than 23. So we move to the next number, the next digit. So we are now having 132. Now, 132 divided by 23 will give us what? We move over to the multiplication table and see the numbers that are less than 132 there. So if we move over here, 0 is less than 132, 23 is less than 132, and 112 is also less than 132. So these are the 3 numbers that are less than 132. So we take the largest, in this case 112. And that 112 is obtained when 2 multiplies 23. That means 132 divided by 23 is 2. So we pick 2. So we have 2 here. And 2 times 23, according to the multiplication in base 4, 2 times 23 is 112. So we have 112 here. We now subtract. 2 minus 2 is 0. 3 minus 1 is 2. So we have 20 now. The next thing, we bring down the next digit, which is this 3. So I'm bringing down this 3 here. So we have 23 dividing 203. Now we move over to the multiplication table. Even 201 is less than 203. So we are taking 201 now. In this case, it's 3 that multiplies 23 to give you 201. So that means 23 divided 203 is 3. So we have 3 here. And 3 times 23, according to this multiplication table, 3 times 23 is 201. So we have 201 here. Now we subtract again. If we subtract, 3 minus 1 is 2. 0 minus 0 is 0. 2 minus 3 is 0. So that means 203 minus 201 is 2. The next thing, we bring down the next digit. In this case, 3. Now, 23 divide 23 is 1. Of course, 23 times 1 is 23. So 23 divided 23 is 1. That means 1 times 23 is 23. And then 23 minus 23 is 0. That means our final answer, since we have obtained 0, our final answer is 231 in base 4. That is our final answer. So we can say, therefore, 30,233 divided by 23 in base 4 is equal to 231 base 4. 231 base 4. That is our answer. Of course, you can confirm this answer by converting these numbers to base 10. Then divide in base 10. Thereafter, change your answer back to base 4. You will still arrive at this answer. Bye.